On a cold Washington afternoon, the Prime Minister showed up at yet another flashy rally with Trump, where the stage lights were so bright that the truth itself seemed to be standing in the corner rubbing its eyes. In front of rows of our soldiers, Trump kicked off the same old show, this time with a topic list that threw together magnets, brooms, banks, and democracy like some late-night TV program where the channel button got stuck and nobody thought to cut to a commercial. The crowd was clapping, but it felt like with every clap, the national conscience flew a little farther away looking for shelter, like a tired bald eagle hunting for a quiet rock to sit on. Trump unloaded on magnets as if they were behind every global conspiracy, saying he hated them because they pull things in, when in reality he himself has become the biggest magnet for cameras, headlines, and chaos, a magnet nobody seems able to switch off. The vice president stood awkwardly on the far end of the stage, trying to steady some invisible scale, scrambling to defend his boss and the heads of institutions like the FCC, treating every tough question as a simple misunderstanding, and every criticism as just another fresh episode of so-called fake news. America has drifted to a strange extreme where each day's headline climbs a new peak, and writers are so exhausted they want to start their own story over from page one because the plot is so tangled even the characters can't remember which chapter they're in anymore. Somewhere in all of this is a rusted-over soul that once wore its badge of dissent with pride, but now has taken that badge off and turned into the most obedient cheerleader, smiling through every disaster like they're auditioning for the world's worst best friend sitcom. They've been trying to laugh for 8 straight years, and finally their face has hardened into a permanent grin, a mask that swallows real emotion and leaves behind only a camera-friendly smile. People on stage look like marshmallows, soft on the outside, hollow on the inside, easy for any powerful hand to squeeze into whatever shape it wants. Instead of candy for the kids, the crowd is being handed slogans, and Trump is the one wearing those slogans like new jackets he can swap out whenever he wants, never worrying about what he said yesterday or what he'll swear tomorrow. Families are being told they can pick their model, as if democracy were some online catalog where you can swap leaders with a click while the policies and the noise they create stay exactly the same. Grandparents who once handed out storybooks are now hunting for the remote to protect the kids from the TV, because it's the same face, the same mic, the same marathon of nonsense on every channel, running faster than any printer ever pushed out campaign slogan. What's happening isn't a partnership, it's a global reality show that refuses to end, a show where every season promises that this time there will be real change, but as soon as the finale ends, a teaser for the next season starts rolling. The hosts on stage keep smiling and nodding while America slowly shrinks like an old paper map whose edges have started to tear from being folded and unfolded too many times. Somewhere off in the distance, a bald eagle is buried in a stack of legal papers trying to locate its own asylum application, while a whole team of beautiful, muscle-bound bulls pretends to adore this power pageant. And then, as always, Trump closes things out in that one-of-a-kind way only he can, with a line that, the longer you hear it repeated, starts to feel like an ancient sticker glued to a wall, its colors faded, its corners peeling, but nobody daring to scrape it off because people have gotten so used to it they now treat it like part of the wall itself. Just like that old sticker, this whole era feels like it's hanging onto an overused kite string that's been whipped around in the wind for so long it's exhausted, yet somehow still refuses to snap out of sheer stubbornness. The aesthetic of Trump's politics works the same way. He wants to look orderly just by standing next to chaos, like someone standing in a trashed room insisting, "See, I'm actually very tidy, just give the room some time." Instead of rising above anything, he's slowly sinking, but the smile never leaves his face, like a Titanic passenger who spots a camera on the way down and says, "Good news, folks, we're back on all stations again." Anytime a reporter or anchor dares to interrupt the circus, they get slapped down mid-broadcast, as if public debate has been downgraded into a one-way infomercial where the audience's only job is to clap and remember the product name. Networks like ABC, NBC, CBS, and public broadcasters package the whole thing like some endless late-night commercial that keeps promising a miracle offer of greatness coming soon. While a tiny disclaimer blinks in the corner of the screen, results may vary. Honesty was the first thing to walk out of the classroom where Trump lectures, followed by facts, then decency, and finally responsibility, which seems to have gone on permanent vacation. Critics don't see real change because what's happening isn't a reform. It's an exorcism of self-respect, a ritual where people pawn off their spine in exchange for better headlines. Convictions have been traded in for convenience, principles swapped for the applause of rallies, cashed out for 20-second clips that go viral on social media under any face wearing a red tie. In the background stands a long line of government banks, air traffic controllers who haven't seen a paycheck in 28 days, and furloughed officials, while on stage the leaders crack jokes about how everything is great, and America is becoming great again. In reality, what's happening is that the presidency is being performed like community theater, where the script is never fully written and everyone just keeps improvising, slowly drafting the audience into the cast whether they like it or not. It's the political version of karaoke. The mic never turns off, the pitch is never right, and the claque has already been trained to applaud every line as if it's genius. People who used to go to comedy clubs or live shows now come back thinking that at least there, the jokes were supposed to be joked. Here, the joke is on governance itself, on policy, and on the very people who still dare to hope for a serious answer. Bit by bit, The nation has become so tired that even satire is exhausted, and laughter feels less like joy and more like a new way of holding back tears. The whole spectacle is like watching a student give a book report on a novel they never even opened, yet confidently reciting the page count. The only consistent thing about this administration is its inconsistency. Every day, every week, every month delivers the same chaos, just in a different box. This is not leadership. It's a never-ending open mic night running at democracy's expense, where whoever shouts the loudest gets branded the biggest patriot. The country is worn out from being told that this circus counts as government, like an aging audience trapped in a show where all the animals have long since left, and only the clowns remain, brawling under the spotlight while the janitor shuffles behind them with a broom, calling it public service. The entire political brand here rests on one thing: agreeing louder than anyone else, no matter how absurd the statement, and that noise has become the official soundtrack of this era. And please like the video and subscribe to the channel.